Huh? Okay, as you say, good morning to the rest of the other world. Good afternoon to Malaysia and Southeast Asia, and probably good evening to people in New Zealand and probably in Japan and so on. All right. So in today's session, I think this is an opportunity for me to introduce SustNET, all right? SustNET, Sustainable Business Network Association Malaysia. For those who have been with SustNET for the last 10 years, we have already, we did our last anniversary about 2 or 3 months ago, where we already graduated for cross the 10-year anniversary. Okay. And it's nice to know all of you here. And what I want to share with you is our milestone, our activities, and some of you have probably known, some of us, what are our activities, but some probably are not fully aware of what are the activities, whether it's in the past, in the present, or in the future. So let me share with all of you about the things which I probably want to share as part of our today's session, because it's a 1-hour session. I want to make it as quick as possible because I know everyone is having their own, different, different activities, especially Friday. Everybody wants to rush to somewhere, right? So I'll try to make it as quick as possible. As per my WhatsApp message, we have 11 activities that I wanted to share with you as part of our SustNET ecosystem. Okay, we have 11 activities. In other words, it is an accumulation of our strength, accumulation of our knowledge, accumulation of our communities, accumulation of our ecosystem, accumulation of our I call knowledge transfer, and of course, accumulation of our partnership. Okay, they have a lot of things that we have accumulated, but to a certain extent, how do we make some of our contribution to be tangible?
They follow the engineering.
All right. So I will try to mute some of you, yeah, because that might give a little bit of disturbance to the presentation. Okay, so as the first round of our elements in our ecosystem, all of you are probably having a lot of your CSR activities yourself, right? But before that, for those who want to know what is SustNet, you can always look at our website, Sustainable Business Network. We have started, as you say, in the year 2016. Now is 2026. So it's already 10 years in terms of our commitment to set up a business network that comprises of various communities coming from different countries. So at its present moment right now, SustNet has got a nationality of 11 countries that we have expanded. So in other words, we have already established many networks with our representatives. Okay, so we're not going to talk about who are the founders, what's the main agenda. I think that everyone knows that as it is right now. 10 years ago, people talk about sustainability as an alien subject. But now sustainability is already a core subject. But we are not going to talk about sustainability as a core subject. We are going to talk about sustainability as a regenerative subject. So what is a regenerative subject? Meaning it is a production of your own sustainability ecosystem. So we have 11 activities which we believe it's part of our regenerative mindset. And because we have many partners and contributors, and also we have many tools that we can either replicate or share and give the prosperity element. So this is where we want to create a community that are connected with our sustainable practice. Okay. So the first thing on what we want to do is all of you may have a lot of CSR activities. So the first element that I want to introduce as part of our time bank is our activity on how do you want to register your CSR, where either you can share that you are a contributor to the CSR. When you are a contributor to the CSR, meaning that you are yourself are the doers. You are the one who implement it, and you probably want to have some sharing in kind with people who probably want to also share in kind with whatever activities that you do. So there may be some common elements that you can share, or some element of an exchange that you want to do as part of being a contributor. So that's one activity under the time bank that you can record. The other one is you as a person who wants to offer something as part of your kindness. So what are the things that you want to offer? You may be offer free training, you can be offer free tuition, you may be offer a free caretaking time with the old folks. Whatever is your contribution, there is an exchange of kindness, right? But an exchange of kindness may come in a different form, because as a contributor, you as an offerer, you may give something back that other people might also want to be part of it. So again, kindness versus another kindness. So that's part of time bank's registration. Now, the other one is some people, they might not want to offer because they are doing it for their own goodwill. Some may not want to share out the contribution because it's already the past event. So again, there is an announcement board where people will able to share out what they do and what kind of impact that they have done coming out from their contribution. So again, under the time bank, you can be a contributor, you can be an offerer, you can be also be a sponsor for anything that you believe you want to contribute, yeah? So a sponsor may not want to be the doer, they may not be the offerer, but they are the one who want to participate because they either have something that they want to match up with their interests, whether they want it for their ESG report, whether they want it for their annual report, whether they want it for something else, it doesn't matter. So part of that can be also be reported as a part of the announcement. So the time bank is one of our activity to complete all your contribution, all your goodwill, your kindness, or whatever that you believe you have contributed that can be shared and can be to the people who have the common practice. Now, the second one, which I'm going to talk about, is the learning bank. Now, a learning bank is for people who are already in the past 2 or 3 years or 5 years accumulated a lot of learning, but they have never able to make it as a capital. Why they never made it as a capital? Because no one has made that knowledge as an asset. Knowledge is an asset, as an intangible, but it can be capitalized in the form of hours. So it's called CPD hours. Whether it's in the past, which is going backward, or in the future, where you're going forward, there is an element of CPD that you can accumulate. So that is the asset that you can capitalize. Now, for any people who are involved in training, you may be involved in training in a formal way, where you do it in physical, where you do it in an institution, but also you can also be doing training on the online basis for another platform, for whatever it is. All these hours of training can be converted into CPD. All right. So it's a matter of how you want to capitalize your knowledge. Okay. Now, for a competency-based knowledge, meaning it has an alignment towards certain professionalism, professional in terms of career, professionals in terms of its strong industry pathway, where there is an element of recognition for that certification, that competency has got its own CPD. All right. And normally professional bodies, they go for CPD points to upgrade the professionalism of their communities. The same thing with Think Plus. We love to accredit people who have got that tangibles and can be converted into CPD, their learning hours, so that at least they feel good about their own capital. What did they invest? In time, in knowledge, and whatever it is, both the learner and the trainer can accumulate their CPD because it's part and parcel of that knowledge ecosystem. Now, the second element under the learning bank is the entrepreneurship. Now, a lot of entrepreneurs are contributing a lot of knowledge to the community, be it for their product demo, be it for their product exhibition, be it for whatever that you do to share out to your own ecosystem, something that a lot of people did not know about. It's your regenerative ideas. It's your contribution for your own IP. All that can be CPD. But many people do not know how to CPD it because everybody thinks it's just a matter of a contribution of a CSR. Now, the CSR under the CPD hour, it is not a CSR as a complementary. It is a CSR for your capitalization on the time that you spend. So that's called the CPD hour to be capitalized. Of course, when you accumulate that CPD hours, they can be redeemed for a higher certificate because there is evidence-based that you learn. So when there is an evidence-based, even though for the entrepreneurs that you do your demo, you do your presentation, you do all your necessary contribution, that time, it itself an accumulation of asset, of your time, of your knowledge, of your contribution. So again, that itself has got value for you to redeem a different level of certificates, yeah? So whether it's for the entrepreneurs or for the competency, for industry, there is an element of how you look at CPD as an asset, either to give back to the learners or to give to the trainers, because they do that contribution, either to give it to the entrepreneurs or to give it to their to the community, to the listeners, to the buyers, to the consumers, to the suppliers. All that has got a CPD point. So we need to recognize that every knowledge is capitalized. Okay, that is a CPD learning bank. All right. So for those who have questions, hang on to your questions. All right, because I will love to answer the questions once I finish my cycle of my presentation. So I will do all the 11 items as soon as possible to give you a time for you to ask the question and answer session. Okay. Now, the third one of my ecosystem, of the SustNET ecosystem, all right, is the Asia Pacific Sustainability Conference and Awards. Now, these are basically meant for certain industries where we believe Asia Pacific is affected by the climate change, are affected by the activities of our industries, the marine life, the agricultural land, all right, the communities, the education that are being swarmed with technologies, all right, and of course, our new policy of carbon tax. All this is coming into the midstream where people all of a sudden would then start to realize that we are being affected by all this. Okay, so part and parcel of our learning now is to make sure that CEOs that has got values of bringing their product, their services, that is in relation to some of our very strong interests. One is biodynamics and food security. Now, many people will not know what is biodynamic and food security. Is it biology? Is it photosynthesis? Is it just a matter of going back to farming? No, it's not just one focus. It is about how you look at food security for the future, where the dynamics and the biodiversity will have its own ecosystem. We all know that we have destroyed the ecosystem. And we all know that we cannot do the finger pointing because we all are to be blamed about it. Every one of us are trying to be part of an economy, but we did not give back to the economy. When we did not give back to the economy, meaning we did not secure the ecosystem for the future. Now, so food security is something that everyone knows, all right? Even all of us knew that we are not eating the right kind of food. We are eating a lot of junk food. That is not food security. So we're talking about food security. It has to be healthy. It has to be organic. It has to be an element of less risk to our health and all that. Now, elements of, let's say, waste management, issues about plastic cleaning and all these activities of transition from energy to another form, right? From waste to energy and all that. Those are elements towards the net zero. But when we talk about now, when technology are already advanced to look at infographics, to look at data, to look at assessment, there's an element of AI coming into education. So Asia Pacific Subsidy Conference is we bring in topics, all right, topics that are highly related to the community. But we know all of you are innovators, all of you are thinkers, are strategic drivers. So we bring CEOs to come forward and bring their topic to a level where the layman can feel and see what is actually the topic is all about, right? Whether it's for health and wellness, whether it's for technology or for whatever that we deal with. Okay. Now, so just for those who are listening, so I hope you can mute your speaker so that we can we can have less disturbance. Okay. So the Asia Pacific Conference will have we have it every quarterly. Why every quarterly? Because we are not an event based to do it every 1 year at the end of the year. We are focusing on topics that are current. So we need to have that repeatability of our interests to be focused on different subjects. That's why it's quarterly run. And we have the next one, which is on the 20th of August, which is on health and wellness using AI technology. Now, health and wellness using AI technology is very much related towards how we look at community, right? And it is where the AI and education will come in. So for those who wants to register for the coming Asia Pacific Subsidy Conference, so we are more than happy to welcome you. It will be on the 20th of August this year. Okay, so that's why every quarterly you will see an announcement, and it's for different topics, different community, different awards for the leaders, and of course, it's a different network altogether. So if you love networking, this is the best time to come. Okay, then we have the Malaysian Global Sustainability Award. Now, what's the difference between Malaysia Global and Asia Pacific? A lot of people will say, why are they two separate awards? Now, Malaysia Global started with our brand of GPM. Yeah, GPM stands for Green Project Management. Now, Green Project Management has always been the foundation of our assessment tool, where we use the framework P5. For those who are not familiar with P5, let me explain what is P5. It is a framework that integrates between product, process, people, planet, prosperity. I repeat, it's a framework that integrates 5 elements or 5 topics: product, process, people, planet, prosperity, where elements under each of these 5 pillars are being assessed for their risks and for their values. So if you have a project, if you have a product, or if you have a business, or you have a new idea, it will be assessed using the P5 framework, where leaders, when I say leaders, it can be entrepreneurs, it can be innovators, it can be a teacher, it can be a student, it can be anyone else. Yeah, it can be an undergraduate, it can be a graduate. Anybody who is a leader can have an idea or already have a project or already have something that they know they have done in the past that can showcase the 5P element. So that's why it's a recognition for project leaders. And we have been doing this for the last 10 years. We assess schools projects because they submit their school project, their co-curriculum project. We assess colleges projects, universities, polytechnics, NGOs, cooperatives, companies, SMEs, JLCs, even government project, Majlis Bandaran Tempatan and all that. So everyone has got a project. But we are not giving people an element of who got A or who got B, who got C. It's not an element of a ranking. It's an element of your focus. Which focus are you involved in? All right. So if you are focusing on business, then the award for the Malaysian Global is the Elite Award, because you are having elements of the contribution towards the the economy, and also probably you have already got your ESG report. So if you have your ESG report, definitely if you have data that it is available for the community, like example agriculture farming, aquaponic, where waste management. There's a lot of people who want their data. They want their data to be part of their reporting. So that is where anyone who has that kind of ability to share their data, then that place or that location can have the recognition of an ESG learning center. So that is part and parcel of where SustNet help to identify people who are project leaders who can do more than just doing a product. Then they will get this kind of accreditation, the kind of recognition. And then under the Malaysian Global Sustainability Award, we have the Green X and the Green Innovation, where we want also projects that also supporting the next millennium, the next generation, the younger generations, because we are not just serving the seniors, we're also serving the juniors. So we need to also look at how we introduce all our solutions to the people for the future. And then green innovation is for people who have got ideas, be it for waste, be it for health, be it for wellness. So those are innovators that are definitely regenerative, some of them, and definitely also very, how we call that, circular in mind. So when I say circular in mind, meaning they have already got their 5P integrated well to be shared as a prototype, to be shared as a project, to be either pitched to others companies, or they can it itself bring it out for other investors to come in. So all in all, Malaysian Global Sustainability Award is an annual award. It's an annual. We don't do it quarterly. We do it annually. So normally we do it in the month of January. Well, Asia Pacific Sustainability Award, we do it quarterly. So it would be one in January, then we will have one in May, and we have one in August, and we have one probably in November or back to January. So when it's possible, we would do that. And we also have our Asia Pacific Award across Malaysia. We have done it in Bali. We have done it in in Egypt. Yeah, we have done it in various other countries also, in Singapore. All right. We wanted to do one in Manila, but due to the recent turbulence in the Middle East, so it's hard to travel anywhere at the present moment without looking at the risk. So again, we do have cross intention to do educational tour on all this assessment, right? We have a lot of assessment globally. We have a lot of friends in Africa who are wanting to work with us. We have friends from Kenya, from Nigeria, from other countries in Sudan, Egypt, and of course across down south to South Africa, yeah, Namibia, and so on. So again, we are more than happy to connect with all of you to ensure that we can cross to you and contribute to whatever they are doing, so that we can give you the recognition that you are due to receive. Now, the educational tour which I shared with you, this is very intense. When I say intense, mean it is already showing you the live example of a sustainable practice that is real, not academic driven, not just how we call prototype driven. It is real learning, real. All right. So for those who probably do not know that sometimes we talk about biodynamics, it looks like it's very academic, very theoretical, very engineering. No, it is not. It is so layman. It is so real down to the earth that even the basics, anything we ourselves did not know, because we are too focused on trying to drive learning in a much advanced stage, when the basic things, we miss it out. So this is where we're talking about the educational tour is an element of how we bring back the real understanding about the reality. All right, the people who have even look at sustainability in a long time, in a long way, in a much more how to call integrated way, of course. And that's where you will see the learning goes deep to your soul. deep to your soul, the meaning of life comes back to you. But if you are doing sustainability with no soul, you're only doing it for for paper presentation, then you know that it is not as real as what when you do educational tour. All right. So this is part and parcel of our contribution to ensure in part of our SustNet activity, there is element of educational tour which you can also participate in our program under our SustNet ecosystem. Okay, then we have, yep, so appreciate if you all just came in to also mute your mic. Now, we also have another sector called the Music, Art and Kindness Movement. Now, we just had that session of kindness movement last April, yeah? Last April. Okay, so we understood that, you know, many people think that music, art, and kindness is so disintegrated, but they are the expression of our sustainable practice. They are the one that glue the real meaning about giving back to the society, giving back to the community, and showing the true values of our humanity. So when we talk about humanity, we're trying to humanize technology. We're trying to humanize culture. We're trying to humanize building. We want to humanize many things. But in true sense, there is no measurement of humanity other than you appreciating culture, appreciating what I call expression of knowledge and expression of kindness. That's the true meaning about sustainability. So this is part and parcel about SustNet's activity. We want to make sure that we are not just technical savvy. We are just not just what I call bringing knowledge just to the forefront. We are also looking at from the point, what is the true meaning of life when we want to give back? Is there an assessment that you are looking back at culture, looking back at elements that has brought us today? What we are today is not because of us today. It's what people of the past. They have done all that literature. They have done all that art. They have done all that music. They have done all that kindness. And we are being blended by it, blended by the society, by the culture. But what have we done for the future? So this is where cultivating our own values comes into your network. So if you want to be part of SustNet, Sustainable Business Network, you have to have this blended of moving along together with this. You don't separate it. It is part of our wisdom, we call that. Okay, and then a lot of you love the storytelling. A lot of you love to tell your story, and we are going global, of course. All right. When you say global, it's not about distributing through physical, but distributing through the e-platform. Yeah, we have the e-magazine, but the story that we will share is the people who we know that we have been seeing with evidence, sharing, talking, and they are true in self impacting. Yeah, the evidence of their impact is too huge to be shared. All right, so it cannot be shared just through a conference or just through a webinar. It has to be shared through another form, which is the writing up, because a lot of people wants to see something that is more tangible. So this is where SustNet Magazine comes in with a global story with a different sets of media writing. A lot of you will know what is the way other AI platform will be writing. But here, media writing is different. It's a different story altogether. So it has got a different jazz, we call that, a different style, a different way of performing communication. Yeah. So for those who wants to lead yourself, and sometimes no one identify you, no one knows you, no one's really understood you. You cannot stand tall because no one knew who you are. So this is where the SustNet magazine comes in to represent you, right? To represent who in our network have got that outstanding honor to be different. There are many people who are different, but no one knows how unique they are. No one knows because everybody is trying to look at the limelight. Everybody is looking at the news, but no one look at the real people who are on the ground. So SustNet magazine is for people on the ground. It's not for people who are in the limelight and who are having all the best of everything. No, we are looking at people who are really having that sustainable practice and having a true meaning of sharing. And that's why our storyline is always within the focus of the 5P: product, process, people, planet, prosperity. Okay, that's SustNET magazine. So we have already issued out 3 magazines, 3 versions. One is the first inaugural, and then we have the special features of one of our entrepreneurs who has already shown a lot of talent in supporting the inclusive group. Yeah. So for some of you, you probably know who's this person I'm referring to, but they are the people who support inclusivity. So when we talk about inclusivity, we are not in the inclusive group. We don't care inclusivity. But when the people who are in the inclusivity group and they share and they care and they develop, that is a story. That is a unique story that you have. So the PWD Smart Family is a story that we want to write up and we want to share. So again, we have another, what they call a second edition of our corporate SustNET profile. These are the people who register in our Asia Pacific conference and they have signed up for our packages for the magazine write-up. So these people will get their space into the SustNET magazine. So there is always an integration of that SustNET magazine with the Asia Pacific Conference, with the Malaysian Global. So here again, so if you want to be integrated, so this is where we integrate you. We integrate you with the conference. We integrate you with the project leader recognition. We integrate you with the SustNET magazine. So you are all being filled up by the story that we know you are already good at, right? You are already a champion to it. So this is where it's a matter of you getting the bundle so that you know you will get all everything in place. Okay. Now, then there is this element of self ESG. Now, myself being a trainer and a consultant and assessor, while I have understood the 5P so much to integrate the SOPs of companies, the SOP of companies in how to do reporting and how they should bring their SOP to a level where the ESG is identified, is verified, is traceable, is trackable, is with ethics, all that as an SOP of a company. But then I realized when I keep on going to companies and when I talk to individuals, whether you are head of department or you are just a operator of a company, everyone did not realize that they have their own ESG. So there is something that I believe that the community did not have that information, that ESG is also affecting on your SAF practices. So when I reflect back on my way of life, my family life, my early days life, we all have our sustainability practice because we come from a different sets of how they call family grow up, right? So everybody will have our own way on how to justify the community, the people, your environment, and so on. So again, when we are looking at ESG, it's actually your profile of how you look at your practices on your social engagement, on your social capitalization, on your work-life balance, on your practices, on what you purchase, on what you use for your transport, on what you believe as your way of keeping back to the basic. All this has got its own control. But we did not look at it as your self ESG because you always think that ESG is only related to corporate, to business, to people who have got the mandate to do that. No, self ESG is already a reflection of your own lifestyle. So this is where under SustNET, we have developed an IP to do the self ESG so that each and every one, when you look at your own dashboard, is a mirror of what you did of the past. So we do that for your 2025. So that at least for your 2026 later, you can track back what do you do in 2025 that showcase that your commitment towards your own sustainability practice. And then 2026, you can see where did you improve and where you did not do better. So it's not about scoring A's or B's. So do not go into that linear thinking. When you go into that linear thinking, you have the mindset that you only want to go into a race. We are not racing against time. We are in a mode of being circular. We have to protect our environment. We have to protect our community. We have to love each and everyone in our ecosystem. That is circular mindset. But if you want to just dash and move fast and just keep on chasing, that's a linear thinking. And that's where somewhere along the line, you feel alone. You feel you have no one. You feel that you're only chasing the ghost without you understanding that you have left everyone behind. So again, the self ESG is a reflection of how you look at your practices as be part of a circular mindset, not in a linear way. All right. And then we have this project Genius, which help us to bring out a platform. So we know that there are so many platforms out there who, whether on the government sector, on the NGO sector, cooperatives, many private sectors who bring communities to come in and match their innovative ways with whether with the sponsors, with the innovators, with the crowdfunders, whatever, right? So here, a Genius program comes in together with my good friend, Dr. Daniel. He's here in this group. I hope he's here still. Where he came out with the idea about, he says that why don't we do an innovative thinking on how we generate environmental innovation using used scraps. So I said that idea is good, but that need to be IP because it is an acronym that has got a strong idea behind it. So I told him that, get it into an IP, register it with my IPO so that we then have a platform that is strong enough to carry its weights. So because he has got weights. So if you want to have weights in terms of what you do, so you want to find a way on how you bring innovators and all this community that is trying to help to blend in so that each and everyone will have its own contribution, will have its own prosperity, will have its own way of how we look at each other. All right? We're not looking at enemies. We're looking at collaboration. We're looking at creating a holistic manner of how we come together. So that should be the spirit of our Genius, not about your idea is better or your idea is good. It's about what can your idea do for us to also be part of it. It's a partnership in goals, not just to look at it as an investment and say, okay, how much is the ROI? What do you want? What is the share profit? Those are all linear. So linear will always look at profitability. Of course, profit is important. It's a sustaining thing. It's a SOP. Without profit, you don't have SOP. Without SOP, you cannot have product or process. But what we are trying to achieve is impact. So where's the impact that we want to contribute? That is where the partnership in goals comes in. Look at the impact first. Don't just look at the profit. That's what our journey is. And then we have what is more important is our entrepreneurs. The economy of our Asia Pacific is all full of entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs is the one who drives the engine. All right? Entrepreneurs are the one that are practical enough to cut down the costs. Many big projects, they rely on entrepreneurs to become their service provider because entrepreneurs have its own lean way on cutting back the cost and doing it at the quality that is expected coming from their competency. So an entrepreneur will always have competency. An entrepreneur will always have a business model that is strong enough for them to sustain their livelihood because they probably know how to make it cheaper. They probably know how to bring the right resources. They probably know how to bring some element of community to come and help them. So there is always the element of the entrepreneur's ecosystem. An entrepreneur will always have an ecosystem. They never work alone because that's how the survival of an entrepreneur. All right? So when we have entrepreneurs, that means we knew that they have ecosystem. So how do you want to support the ecosystem? That's why the P5 comes in to support them, to support their knowledge so that they understand that they are already in a 5P mode. How can we make them better? So how do we can make them better is what we want to ensure so that they can get into the green field and into the sensitivity approach in a manner that they can get better results. Okay. And then we have the last item of my ecosystem, the CO circle. Now, what's the meaning of CO circle? A network of COs that will always make a decision, but faster than the operation team. Now, when you talk to a group of people, sometimes you know that when you give an idea, they will say, oh, okay, I'll come back with you. I'll come back to you. I will talk to my top management. So you know that there is always this hierarchy, how is this bureaucracy that you have to go through. But a CEO circle is more meant for decision makers to come in so that we can make a much more not short circuit way, but a much more approachable way to look at things from an eye to eye angle between a CEO and a CEO so that they can then understand where the integration is. All right. So CEO circle is more to blend leaders together so that they can have commonalities without going through bureaucracy so much, right? So that is where we create the most of the time during the Asia Pacific, we have the CEO circle to guide the common interests of leaders so that we can bring out the talent among them. Okay, so this is what it is on our session today, is to look at the SustNet ecosystem and what we are offering to guide all of you who wants to be part of this SustNet, and then how we want to look at your contribution and where you believe you can, help yourself or help us or be part of our bigger ecosystem. So I'm going to open up the floor on this so that we talk more and listening to you rather than looking at what I just shared. Okay, all of these are all together and all. So please, I'm more than happy to listen to you because you are the ecosystem, the voice to the accessibility. So let's start. Anyone else that can share? Anyone want to start?
Okay, Bismillah. I just wanted to, my name is Zainul Abidin from South Africa. I'm quite involved with sustainability in the sense of the institution of Waqf, or Waqf as you call it. So I just wanted to see and how Waqf can be integrated into your broader scheme of things, because I do see Waqf as a fundamental sustainability funding institution within Islam that has really been decimated and that needs revival. So I'm actually proposing also that we, through SustNet, also incorporate the institution of Waqf. I would like to hear your views on it.
Oh, beautiful. I've been always been very happy to look at Waqf, the Islamic instrument, to bring all the values about sustainability, for the community and so on and so on. So I'd be more than happy to work with you. There are a lot of papers that we have shared, and these are all the things that we want you to come forward and to work the model with us, right? Because we have so many contributors, so many people that have come out with better and good projects, and they are creating so much of impact. But as you say, when we can blend with that Waqf strategy, I think that will make it far, far greener, I would say, far more traceable, trackable, and Sharia compliance, I would say. It will be very good, right? Yes, Nasi, I see your hands up. Yeah. Yes. Dr. Alina, you want to say something? Nasi, you want to say something?
Actually, doctor, I'm just learning. And I think after observing this from others who are more senior, I hope to actually start learning baby steps, but actually not just dead end and not sustainable. So that's, I think, on the blessings of today, Jumaat and the Azan for Asa had just been done. So that's my doa, and I'm still learning from you all. Inshallah, Bismillah. That's all, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Alina. I know you are very supportive of sustainability effort. Yeah, you being coming from University Science Islam Malaysia, you have a lot of your halal communities, halal knowledge, and I think the integration between product process of halal into the sustainability practice, this is what my passion is, on how to integrate that and how to make it as a sustainable reporting framework. That's one. Number two is to look at the milestone about how we can help, as I say, the community that been dampened by the linear thinking, because halal and also wakaf are all circular thinking. But if you have linear thinking that brings and separate the business model, that's why you can see the disintegration. And I hope we all can realize that we need to go into that circular mode. And when we have wakaf or we have other financial instruments that glue up the circularity, this is what the agenda of sustainability practice will have more, right? I hope so. I hope you all can support me on that. All right, Nasi, your hands are still up. You want to say something? Anybody else?
Dr. No, Daniel here.
Yeah.
How's everyone? Okay, I'm just going to drive down to a more practical way of this. I think a lot of people tend to look at what we're doing from frameworks and all that, but it is more than that. I think Dr. Noor has set up a beautiful community where people could interchange ideas, not just good ones, but bad ones. Let me give you some examples. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you'll see a lot of articles being published on sustainability, not always good examples, but also bad examples that we need to avoid. Right. And sometimes, to what Dr. Noor said, the linear thinking leads us to the wrong path. It doesn't consider the overall integration of other components into it. So I think this is a very rich community where we can learn from each other. And I want everyone to encourage everyone to actually step ahead of just let's integrate, let's chat about it, let's talk about it, to let's do it. Let's find a project together where we can, do it together. I love to hear, what Africa can collaborate with us on doing, and so on and so forth. And with that, I think, nothing beats learning from practical implementation. And, we will never be perfect on the first run, but at least we could start doing it and learn from it. That's all I want to say, Dr. Noor.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah, I see the raise of hands. I keep on saying, Nasi, you still want to talk? Or you accidentally raise your hands? Anybody else? Yes. Anybody else? More than happy to hear all of you. And I'm sure you have many ideas. Anybody else? I'm sure. Dr. Khalid, right? You have, and then C, you are here. C, share with us what are the areas that you...
Yes, Dr. Noor, I'm with you.
Yep.
I'm looking for, if we suppose that we are a training center, a big training center, we have a lot of participants from each country come to Egypt. So how my training center, what the center is, Center of Management and Development, how we make a cross between CBD certificate and CBD points and our participants. For example, we make the training for them for the fees from their companies, and they come to Egypt, and we do the training for them. So how we join CBD points, CBD banks with my participants.
Okay.
You see?
Yes. I know. In the end, is that how do you integrate your learning
Yes.
materials
Mm.
with our learning bank and with the CPD certification, right? So
That's right.
those are engines. Your learning materials are your IP. Our learning bank is an accreditation to support your IP, where your training hours will be converted into CPD hours. So as the accumulation of your training modules, you may have 6, 7, 8 training modules coming to support a competency. Let's say yours is on education, on quality assurance in education. All that will have its accumulation of CPD hours. So when people can divide the CPD hours to different modules, in other words, you don't need to do it as a stretch. You don't need to do it all in one day. That's why the learning bank can distribute the hours so that you can spread out and you can, learn as when you feel you have the time. So that learning bank is not about rushing you to learn something all in one day, but to spread it out in the most convenient way where the trainer and the learner get the subject matter more conveniently assessed in a manner that there is evidence that they learn, and that's where the CPD will comes in to confirm their evidence of sharing. Yeah, so that's where the CPD hours will be given with the certificate. So I hope every one of you have got so many training modules, but if you want it all to be done all in one day, of course it can be done. But not everybody can learn everything all in one day. They may have other things they have to do. So that's why the learning bank distribute the learning into phases. And of course, it's based on request. You can do it all in 2 or 3 hours or within 2 or 3 weeks. It doesn't matter. It has the convenience of choosing your own time. That's what the learning bank is. All right. Thank you, Dr. Khalid. So
Thank you.
anyone else? Yes. All right, I will give it to you, Zainal Abidin. So for those who wants to have my contact number, I will share with you, right? So anybody else wants to share their learning experience and what in their views would be better for us to connect and for us to share our common values? Yeah, our common values.
Dr. No?
Yes.
Yes. I'm new into all this, and I think ever since I was sort of like learning from you, now I'm very interested in the CPD hours. Still quite confused about it and still not very clear what I can do and how to go about it. I have been training for many years, and I have done training for I do skills training, and usually my skills training, actually the target children are the what do you call the B40, the people who are actually at the lower ranking, and we teach them skills in order for them to get jobs. So these are past already done for many years. Are they, am I able to sort of like quantify them and get the CPD hours?
Yes. For anything that is for the past 5 years ago, things that you do in the last 5 years, and those students that have that have been trained by you for the last 5 years, and you have evidently conduct the training, be it physical, be it at site, be it their home base or whatever. Those are evidence-based, right? But the point that they've been given a recognition for that learning, I think that is the beautiful part that you have given to them. I'm here more to qualify you as a trainer and to qualify the learner that whatever that you spend is actually a contribution towards their future. Whether you teach on competency of livelihood, teaching them on hygiene, for example, on how to be self-centric, or how to be how to do prayers, on how to be nice to people. Those are CPD points that is making people having a living, learning and living together without having to go to academic way. But all these are, as I said, the person that teaches it, of course, we need to qualify. Are they the qualified trainers? Of course, that's why the evidence base of who are the trainers in our learning bank would be our qualifier. That's why when we register any trainers in our learning bank, they're the people who are competent to do it, whether they are in the past or in the present or in the future. So we are giving recognition to both. All right. Thank you so much for your question. It's a great question. Anybody else wants to, give your feedback? Takif? I know you well. Anybody else? Faiza? Rose Azlin? Datin Jaya? Rita? I don't want to call people's name. Oh, see you saying very insightful, many intriguing activities beyond I already knew. All right, there's lots to learn. Yes, thank you so much. See, I know you are on the way to another city, so I hope you stay safe. Yeah. Anybody else? Murugan?
Good evening, Doctor. It's a
Yes.
very good, I think, good sharing session. Especially what you're all doing is mainly for the human values, I think. It's more to the value base. Now people's all focus for the business and money, but I think this is one of the platform which we can contribute more to the human value, future of our sustainability, our youths. This platform, I think we can use very wisely, especially people like me who are dealing with the students in the university and the colleges. I think these ideas we can convey to our youngest generation so that at least we can produce in the end at least the human values, not only the factory workers like a machinery. I think all this like a kindness movements activity which we can insert, embed in the students' daily life, so that in the end they can become a good human, I think. So I think this platform we can work together, get more ideas, sharing. So thank you, Doctor, for your sharing ideas.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you.
you, T.S. Murugan. Dr. Minadi, I see you're here. Dr. Minadi. Dr. Zainab, yes, we'd love to hear from all of you. You're all international people. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. No, for the sharing. I believe that what you have been doing is very grateful and valuable for human being. So I can share with you the practice in Indonesia, especially for ESG and also for the sustainability reporting. So in Indonesia, that is mandatory to report the ESG aspect only. So meaning that sustainability reporting is still on the voluntary basis. However, how do we approach the ESG reporting and also the sustainability reporting for the public listed company? That is still in the phase of the administration work. meaning that it is still far beyond the ideal approach that we need to embed all the P5 component into the business model. So the consequence of this approach is how we report the ESG aspect for each company. We do it in the end at the end of the reporting phase, meaning that we see the ESG component is a component of the business model. Yeah, meaning one point is the profit, the other point at the process, and one component we can see that is still ESG reporting. Why we do this? Because it is mandatory from the government. It is good for the Indonesian government to be reported for each public listed company. I am doing this. I know this one because I work for the public listed company. So, and my duty in this aspect is to review, to evaluate all the ESG component, especially. So, when it comes to the sustainability, to be honest, Dr. No, it is still far also in the industrial practice. We do this because the government forces, not because on the voluntary basis. That is what I can share with you, the practice in industry for public listed company. However, it is good step for the country that everybody now understood. They need to be to report all the ESG activity, all the sustainability activity. Yeah, not only the financial position. So because the investor now look at this ESG pattern. Yeah. So that is what I can share with you, Dr. No. Again, thank you for inviting me, being here with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Win. Dr. Win is one of the people who's also certified green project management like me. Somebody that I know very, very long time, way back in his UTHM days when he was a lecturer at UTHM. So we have been definitely involved in sustainability in the early days, yeah. So that's why our passion on sustainability never dies. It glows and grows. So when you say glows, means it always gives us light to what we want to do for others, to keep on contributing, to keep on giving back. So I think Dr. Win has always been my anchor in Indonesia and always been, sharing a lot of the true meaning of being an engineer and being a project manager and doing your technical reporting. But on the other hand, you got to do your value reporting. So a lot of engineers will do technical reporting, whereas sustainability is on value reporting. So again, there's a lot of that mindset that is not really, that is always torn between two. Where do you want to report? You want to report on technical or you want to report on values? And always this middle path has got to be there. So that's where Dr. Win has always been good at to look at this, yeah? Okay, I have Nasir who's raising their hands. I keep on saying, Nasir, do you want to speak? Please go ahead and speak. You have Irfan, if you have Irfan here, if you want to speak. And I would love to have someone from overseas again, yeah? I saw Dr. What's called Al-Balushi, yeah? Balushi, I saw someone that is from Middle East, I would say.
Dr. Noor.
Yes. We're happy.
Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah.
Zainab Al-Balushi here.
Yes,
from Oman.
Zainab. Good, Zainab.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to thank you for your very fruitful presentation. And yes, I would like to say that in Oman, sustainability is a very major pillar for Oman Vision 2040. And we have been working really, rigorously about investing in it and Yeah, as we talked before, I would love to also be a hand for you here in Oman and make use of your expertise and your professionalism in this field. Thank you so much and wish you all the best and wish to see you sometime soon in Malaysia, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you, Dr. Zainab. Thank you so much. Yes, I know Oman is not far from us. We definitely want to go to Oman, a beautiful place, beautiful city. Yes, we can always do an educational tour. Yeah. So, as I say, this is what we want to do. Join hands and have this understanding of sustainability close to our hearts so that we can always, get connected. And, there's always a blending of culture, blending of food, blending of history, a blending of how other countries do it and how we in our country do it. So there's a lot to share to learn. Yeah.
We'll
Lovely.
happily do it with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Nasi, do you still want to say something? You keep on raising your hand. I'm not sure whether this is a virtual hand or is it a serious hand. Anybody else? Takif, you want to say something? All right, Anna or Attila? Yep. Who else you want to say? Yep. Anybody? Yep.
Okay, hi, Retno.
Yes, Rosaline. Yes.
Assalamualaikum. Sorry, I'm able to open my camera. So, thank you for sharing, Retno.
Thank
Just
you.
now. Okay, so actually, I'm a lecturer at University Malaya, and currently I'm very active to ensure that our youth, especially university students, appreciate our natural resources, particularly on soil science. So recently, we actively introduced one module that we call it University Malaya Soil Doctor Program among youth and the community. And that's, I believe, that is part of the kindness movement towards sustainable our planets, such as for the food security and climate change resilience. So I hope that we can work together for this initiative to promote more impactful to our country level or maybe international level.
Beautiful. Rosaline,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to Egypt on the biodynamic and food security. Takif was there with me. And we have a few other state government from Kelantan, 3 people from Institute Koperasi Malaysia, and also one from IIUM and another one from Polytechnic. They all came to Egypt to learn about a very strong learning about biodynamics in the desert, right? Egypt. And it is so real. They have been doing it since 1977. Until now, they are the #1 in the world when it comes to producing organic farming with certified Demeter, with carbon credit being given to 40,000 farmers.
Very nice.
It's a really an awesome project. It's, for those who have never understood that carbon credit can go to farmers in that huge volume, it's because people have done it naturally with no pesticides, with no fertilizers, chemical fertilizer, of course, with no intervention of destroying their ecosystem. And with the way they integrate the community, and they call it the economy of love, the way they certify the carbon, it's all within the standards of the university, Heliopolis University. So you can imagine it is so real. So that's why for those of people who wants to learn through the educational way, where the sustainability and your financing comes with the true meaning of giving back to the people and the planet, and those who have done it with the policy of all this carbon tax, carbon sequestration, and all this carbon credit, it's all there. But if you do it right, you will get it. But if you do it wrong, it will fall apart. So this is where the chemistry of doing it in an ecosystem where everything is right, it will gives you the prosperity that you want. Prosperity is not something that you can claim profitability. Prosperity is something you must do it with your soul in heart, with everybody having the integration of the true values of giving back. Yeah. So it's good. So anybody else? Takif. All right, good.
Yeah, hi, Assalamualaikum all. Sorry, I'm actually driving. I cannot say much, but basically, I really appreciate the initiative done by Dr. No. So, and then when she shared with me, I fall in love with the sustainability model, because personally, to me, it's not really about what we have right now. It's more about what we can give to our future children, grandchildren, and if we don't take care of our environment, do things sustainably, they would not have a life that we have right now. So that is my main motivation. And through SustNet, I can actually see that we are moving towards there. We are at least trying our best to move towards there, not just cut everything, put everything into a machine and destroy everything. So that is actually how I fell in love with SustNet, and I intend to be together with SustNet and enjoy the programs with SustNet, and also see how we can actually work together to improve our planet, basically. And I actually one of the participants that followed Dr. No to Egypt as well, just to learn and know more about how they actually do sustainability farming, and it's an eye opener for me as well. So it's a very good initiative. It's a very good thing, and look forward to spending more time in sustainability. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I've been to other parts of the country like South Africa. Yeah, I've lived in South Africa for a couple of years, not long, but in between, because that time my husband was a trade commissioner based in South Africa. So I love South Africa. Zainal Abidin, if you talk about South Africa, I love Cape Town. I love a lot of the countries there. So I have seen many things that is happening in South Africa. Yeah. And Khalid, Dr. Khalid itself he introduced me to the waste to energy program technology. I've seen it in Egypt, and I've seen people do it with zero waste, 100% zero emission. So I would say Egypt has a lot to offer as well. All right. So that's why this educational tour, we should use it as part of our learning. Yeah. Part of our true learning. So yeah, Dr. Khalid, I know, and
Yeah.
I know. Yes, please. I want to hear you. South Africa, I know. I love to go back there.
I like to come again and again to revisit Egypt, and we can do something as a model of cooperation with other countries we have.
Thank you, Dr. Khalid. Yes, I know. You want to say something?
No, I'm just saying, since you have been to South Africa a few times, I think maybe you should do another visit where you only promote the whole issue of the sustainability and
Yeah.
the organization that you really so dedicated to.
I'm just
Come
proud
back.
also to say thank you so much for the invitation. I love, and I'm sure a lot of people here want to go to South Africa as well, because the country is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I'm also proud to say I have one student from South Africa who did executive master in applied sustainability practice. He did it online with me, and he graduated of getting executive master in applied sustainability practice with our local UITM University, SIB, together with Takif also. But the fact that the beautiful story is that he is a sustainability manager of a sugarcane plantation. A sugarcane plantation, a sustainability manager who was looking on how to measure ESG from his workplace. So he went through all over the place, or he did. I mean, online he went to all over the place to look for a better certification program. So we are Malaysian. So when he goes to all the good countries that has got good certification. All right. And then when he come into our website, Think Plus Academy website, he bumped into our executive master program on sustainability practice and also on ESG reporting. So he asked me this question, what is your module and all that? So I said, we are not academic based, we are applied based. We look at your project, we look at what you do and look at your compliance. And from there, we map it with the P5 framework. And then from there, you then assess your KPI, you assess all your value driven based on the micro-analysis format. I explained to him that, and he signed up. I said, why you sign up with me? Why you won't sign up with so many people? He says, I visit Singapore, universities, I visited UK, I visited US, I visited so many big companies. He said, they don't give me what I want. I want someone who can guide my work, who can guide what I'm doing, who can tell me whether I am right in reporting my ESG. So that is what he wanted. So I was so proud in the fact that he wants a coach, he wants a mentor to guide him on sustainability practice. So I'm not a trainer, I am a coach, I'm a consultant, but I am an industry-led, competent person who can guide everyone on sustainability practice, because it is your project that we look at. We don't look at your talent on your knowledge. We look at your talent in managing your project, in managing your business. So I want to go back to South Africa. I want to see my student face to face. His name is Ayanda Guba. I want to give him a surprise. And I hope I can get invited to see him and meet you again personally. All right.
Inshallah.
With love. And I'm sure every one of you can come with me
Jazakallah.
together. Personal achievement as well. Right. Yeah, I'm sure South Africa have got many sustainability stories. And due to the fact that you are a Mediterranean weather, you have many good soilology, yeah? And I'm sure Rose Azlin is a soilology expert. She understood soilology very well. And under food security and biodynamics is all about soilology, right? And if you protect the soil, you have food security. If you don't protect the soil, you don't have food security. That's the real meaning about food security. Protect your soil. Yes, Attila, you want to say something? Process technician, engineer by background, oil and gas sector, very strong person in competency in oil and gas. Tell me your story, Attila.
Thank you so much for the nice presentation. And we wish in oil and gas, we achieve your target always.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, of course.
Anybody else? I know we have exceeded our time, our 1 hour. If anybody else want to say something, the floor is yours. If we don't have anything to say, I thank
Dr.
everyone.
Don't you think to visit Turkey as well?
Turkey, yes. Every Malaysian love Turkey. My God. You don't mention Turkey. We're all excited about Turkey,
You
Yes,
are most
Turkey.
welcome.
It's a torn between two. Turkey, Egypt, South Africa. Oh my God. This, it's hard to choose. I love South Africa. I love Egypt. I love Turkey. I don't know what to say. I love Oman. I've been Oman. I love Oman. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Of course, my Southeast Asian countries, Jakarta, Indonesia, Bali. These are all my favorite countries as well. Zafri, where are you from? Zafri Wajdi? You want to say something? Datin? Kalau tak ada?
Tak ada, Dato'. Thank you, Dato'.
All right. Anybody else want to say something? Ari? Anybody? The floor is yours. Let's share our common goals. I thank you everyone here for listening to our session today. It's a lovely Friday afternoon. And I hope we can do more of this. We can connect each other again. And I'll be more than happy to give you more of SustNet stories and SustNet's platform to all of you. Thank you. Thank you very much. You take care. Take care, everyone. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bye.
Bye.